Have you ever found yourself standing in the soft glow of your refrigerator late at night, searching for a small comfort to end the day? For so many of us, a late-night snack is a ritual, a quiet moment of peace. But what if that seemingly innocent bite, that familiar taste of comfort, was silently setting the stage for a health crisis? What if I told you that some of the most common foods we reach for in those quiet hours could be quietly undermining your well-being, especially as the years begin to add up? This isn't just a hypothetical question, it's a stark reality brought into focus by the tragic story of Arthur, a 76-year-old retired history teacher from a quiet suburb in Ohio. Arthur was a man of routine. He enjoyed his evening crossword puzzle, a chapter from a good book, and one final simple pleasure before bed, a thick peanut butter sandwich on wheat bread, just like the ones his mother used to make him. It was his connection to the past, a taste of security. One night, that very comfort became his undoing. Arthur passed away in his sleep, a victim of silent choking, a danger he never saw coming from a food he had trusted his entire life. His story is a heart-wrenching wake-up call, a testament to a truth we often ignore. Our bodies change, and the habits that once served us can become hidden hazards. In this deep dive, we are going to shine a powerful light on 5 specific foods you should seriously reconsider eating before bed, particularly if you want to safeguard your health, protect your energy, and preserve your peace of mind. Each one might seem harmless on the surface, but understanding the intricate science and the subtle risks is the first, most crucial step toward making choices that honor the body you have today. I promise you, by the time we finish this journey together, you won't just have a list of things to avoid. You will feel empowered, more confident, and firmly in control of your nighttime habits. So stay with me, because we're not just talking about food, we're talking about a blueprint for living a longer, stronger, and more vibrant life. The first hidden danger we must confront is one that lies in the very heart of American comfort food, the architect of Arthur's tragic end, the seemingly innocent peanut butter sandwich. For generations, it has been a staple of childhood lunches and a quick, satisfying snack for adults. It's packed with protein, it's filling, and it evokes a powerful sense of nostalgia. But within its thick, sticky embrace lies a peril that grows exponentially as we age. The very qualities that make peanut butter so satisfying are the ones that make it a formidable threat in the quiet hours of the night. To understand the risk, we must first understand the subtle physiological shifts that accompany aging. Our swallowing mechanism, a complex symphony of more than 50 pairs of muscles and nerves, doesn't operate with the same crisp efficiency it once did. The production of saliva, nature's own lubricant for our food, often decreases, a condition known as xerostomia, or dry mouth, which is frequently exacerbated by common medications. The muscles in our throat and esophagus, just like the muscles in our arms and legs, can weaken over time. This combination creates a perfect storm, where a food as dense and adhesive as peanut butter can easily become lodged. It clings tenaciously to the roof of the mouth or the back of the throat, resisting the body's attempts to clear it. For an older adult, especially one living alone, a moment of difficulty swallowing in the dead of night can escalate into a life-threatening emergency with terrifying speed. Think about Harold, a 77-year-old widower from Michigan. He cherished his independence and his nightly routine, which included a piece of toast with peanut butter while watching the late news. He had never had trouble swallowing in his life. But one evening, he woke up from a shallow sleep with a terrifying sensation of being unable to breathe. A small, unswallowed glob of the sticky paste had shifted in his throat. He was gasping, his heart pounding in the silent house. By sheer luck, he was able to cough violently enough to dislodge it, but the experience left him shaken to his core. He was one of the lucky ones. For many, this event occurs without a sound, a silent obstruction of the airway while they sleep. This is not just about the act of choking itself. Thick foods, especially when paired with dense bread, can create a plug in the airway if one drifts off to sleep before the mouth and throat are fully cleared. The risk is compounded for those with dentures, which can reduce sensory feedback in the mouth, or for individuals with sleep apnea, a condition that already compromises breathing during sleep. The psychology behind our attachment to these foods is incredibly powerful. We reach for them because they are familiar, easy, and deeply comforting. They are threads connecting us to a time when our bodies were more resilient. Admitting that a lifelong favorite snack could now be dangerous can feel like a concession to frailty, a loss of autonomy. But true wisdom lies not in stubbornly clinging to the past, but in gracefully adapting to the present. If you have found yourself coughing more frequently after meals, constantly needing to clear your throat, or feeling a sensation of food getting stuck, please do not dismiss these as minor annoyances. They are gentle but urgent messages from your body. The next time late-night hunger calls, consider the profound difference a simple change could make. Swapping that peanut butter sandwich for something softer, like warm applesauce with a dash of cinnamon or a small bowl of yogurt, isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of profound self-respect. Protecting yourself from these preventable risks is one of the most powerful ways to maintain your independence and secure your well-being for all the years to come. Have you ever had a moment where food seemed to go down the wrong way and it genuinely scared you? Please share your story in the comments below. Your experience could be the very thing someone else needs to read to take their own subtle symptoms seriously. Moving from the pantry to the refrigerator, we encounter our second surprising risk, the convenient and flavorful world of cold cuts and processed meats. A turkey wrap, a ham and cheese sandwich, or a few slices of salami are classic American go-to snacks. They are quick, require no cooking, and have been a part of our culinary landscape for decades. Yet, these deli staples harbor hidden dangers that become increasingly significant after the age of 60. The primary culprit is a substance we often consume without a second thought: sodium. Most processed meats are saturated with salt, used not only for flavor but as a preservative to extend shelf life. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient at processing and excreting sodium. Consuming a salty snack before lying down for the night can cause a significant spike in blood pressure. You might not feel it, but inside your body a silent battle is being waged. This phenomenon, known as nocturnal hypertension, is a serious and often undiagnosed condition. Medical research has firmly established a strong link between these nighttime blood pressure surges and an increased risk of stroke, heart attack, and other cardiovascular events. When you are horizontal, your circulatory system is already functioning differently. Flooding it with excess sodium puts an immense strain on your heart and blood vessels while you are at your most vulnerable. If you've been finding these insights valuable so far and want to keep learning, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Your support allows us to continue creating content that can make a real difference in people's lives. But the danger doesn't end with sodium. Cold cuts are typically treated with nitrates and nitrites, chemical compounds used for curing and preserving. While they prevent bacterial growth, these additives have been linked to a host of health issues. For some individuals, they can trigger debilitating headaches or migraines. Over the long term, studies have suggested a connection between high consumption of these preservatives and an increased risk of certain types of cancer. Furthermore, they can directly interfere with your sleep. Many people report waking up with an unquenchable thirst, experiencing painful leg cramps, or needing to make frequent trips to the bathroom throughout the night, all stemming from that seemingly harmless slice of roast beef they ate hours earlier. The situation becomes even more precarious for the millions of older adults who are managing chronic health conditions. If you are taking medication for high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease, the high sodium and chemical content in processed meats can directly interfere with their effectiveness. Excess salt can counteract the effects of diuretics, leading to fluid retention, swelling in the limbs, and even shortness of breath. I recall a conversation with my neighbor, Carol, a vibrant 74-year-old woman who loved her small evening plate of assorted deli meats and crackers. It was her way of winding down. She began waking up with pounding headaches and noticed her rings felt tight on her swollen fingers. She dismissed it as part of getting older until her physician pinpointed her late-night snack as the likely cause. Once she cut it out, the symptoms vanished within a week. The real challenge here is emotional. Processed meats are intertwined with our memories, family picnics, school lunches, tailgate parties. Giving them up can feel like severing a tie to happy times. We don't want to believe that the foods that once brought us joy could now bring us harm. But knowledge is power. Making a small but significant change to your evening routine, choosing a snack that nourishes rather than strains your body, can be the deciding factor between a night of restorative sleep and a frightening trip to the emergency room. If this detailed look at processed meats has surprised you, let me know by commenting the number 2 below. It helps me understand which information is resonating most with you. Next, we turn our attention to another beloved category of late-night indulgence: hard cheeses and creamy dairy products. For so many, the day isn't complete without a slice of sharp cheddar on a cracker, a scoop of rich vanilla ice cream, or a bowl of creamy yogurt. These foods are the epitome of comfort, often seen as a well-deserved reward. They feel wholesome, familiar, and deeply satisfying. Yet for an aging body, consuming dairy late at night can quietly pave the way for a surprising amount of distress, affecting everything from your digestive comfort to your cardiovascular health. Let's begin with the fundamental challenge of digestion. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less lactase, the enzyme required to break down lactose, the primary sugar in milk and dairy products. This means that even if you've enjoyed dairy your entire life without issue, you can develop what is known as adult-onset lactose intolerance. Many seniors attribute symptoms like bloating, gas, abdominal cramping, and even diarrhea to a sensitive stomach or simply old age, never realizing the true culprit is the dairy they consumed before bed. Lying down horizontally can exacerbate these symptoms, leading to a night of tossing and turning in discomfort. Hard cheeses, while delicious, present a particularly potent combination of challenges. They are often very high in both saturated fat and sodium. A few slices of cheddar can contain a surprising amount of your daily recommended sodium intake, leading to the same nighttime blood pressure spikes we discussed with processed meats. The high fat content, meanwhile, slows down digestion considerably. This means the cheese sits in your stomach for hours, forcing your digestive system to work overtime when it should be resting. This can lead directly to another common nighttime ailment: acid reflux. The high fat content relaxes the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscular valve that separates your stomach from your esophagus. This allows stomach acid to flow upward, causing the painful burning sensation of heartburn. Waking up choking on acid or with a raw, sore throat is not just unpleasant. Chronic reflux can seriously damage the esophageal lining over time. If you're finding this content helpful and want to ensure you don't miss future videos, now would be a great time to click that like button. It tells the algorithm that this is valuable information and helps more people find our channel. Now, let's consider those creamy, decadent desserts like ice cream or full-fat yogurt. While they may feel soothing going down, their richness and density make them a heavy load for your system to handle right before sleep. Beyond the risk of acid reflux, the high sugar content in most ice creams and sweetened yogurts can send you on a blood sugar roller coaster, which we will explore in more detail shortly. This combination of fat and sugar is particularly taxing on the body at night. I knew a gentleman named Earl, 79 years old, for whom a plate of cheese and crackers was the sacred conclusion to his day. He complained for years about his restless sleep and constant indigestion, never once connecting it to his cherished ritual. It wasn't until his daughter, a nutritionist, gently suggested he try swapping his cheese for a handful of almonds or a piece of fruit that he finally experienced a full, uninterrupted night of sleep. The change was transformative. He woke up feeling refreshed and clear-headed for the first time in a decade. As our bodies mature, every choice we make regarding fuel matters more profoundly. We simply don't have the same metabolic resilience we had in our youth. If restless nights and digestive trouble have become your unwelcome companions, take an honest look at your evening snacking habits. The simple act of swapping out that cheese or ice cream could unlock the peaceful, restorative sleep you've been missing. Our fourth area of concern takes us to a food that is a cornerstone of so many meals and a champion of thriftiness: leftover rice and pasta. For many older Americans, especially those living alone or on a fixed income, reheating a portion of yesterday's dinner is a practical and comforting solution. It's easy, it prevents waste, and it's a taste of a familiar meal. However, what most people fail to realize is that these seemingly benign starches can become a breeding ground for a specific type of bacteria, posing a significant food poisoning risk that is especially dangerous for seniors. The invisible threat is a bacterium called Bacillus cereus. This microorganism is commonly found in soil and can easily contaminate raw rice and other grains. While the cooking process kills the active bacteria, it doesn't eliminate its spores, which are highly resistant to heat. When cooked rice or pasta is left to cool slowly at room temperature, these spores can germinate and multiply into active toxin-producing bacteria. The longer the food sits in the temperature danger zone, roughly between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, the more these toxins multiply. The terrifying part is that reheating the food in a microwave or on the stovetop might kill the new bacteria, but it often does not destroy the heat-stable toxins that have already formed. For a younger person with a robust immune system, consuming these toxins might result in a few unpleasant hours of nausea and stomach cramps. But for an older adult, the consequences can be far more severe. Food poisoning can lead to extreme vomiting and diarrhea, causing rapid dehydration. This dehydration can in turn lead to confusion, dizziness, a dangerous drop in blood pressure, and an increased risk of falling. For someone with pre-existing heart or kidney conditions, this sudden fluid loss can trigger a major medical crisis, often requiring hospitalization. We've all done it, left the pot of spaghetti on the stove to cool for a few hours, or forgotten to put the container of rice in the fridge right away. But these small lapses in food safety can have outsized consequences as we age due to a natural decline in our immune function, a process called immunosenescence. My friend's mother, Ruth, an 82-year-old woman who prided herself on her frugality, learned this lesson the hard way. She would often make a large pot of rice that would last her for several days, leaving it on the counter for convenience. One evening, she reheated a bowl for a late snack. A few hours later, she awoke with violent stomach cramps and vomiting. She became so weak and disoriented that she had to use her medical alert button. Her doctor later confirmed it was a classic case of food poisoning from the improperly stored rice. The experience was not only physically draining, but also a blow to her sense of self-reliance. The psychology at play here is rooted in lifelong habits and a desire to be resourceful. The generation of many of today's seniors was taught never to waste a scrap of food. The idea that a perfectly good-looking and smelling portion of rice could be dangerous feels counterintuitive. But this is one area where old habits must be updated with new knowledge. The solution is simple but non-negotiable. Cooked rice and pasta must be cooled quickly and stored in the refrigerator within 2 hours of cooking. Spreading the food in a shallow container helps it cool faster. When reheating, ensure it is steaming hot all the way through. This isn't about being wasteful, it's about being wise. It is a simple, powerful act of self-care. If this information about leftover rice and pasta was new to you, please let me know by commenting the number 4 below. Your feedback is incredibly helpful and lets us know what topics are most important to our community. Finally, we arrive at the 5th and perhaps most seductive late-night culprit: sugary cereals and sweets. A bowl of frosted flakes, a couple of chocolate chip cookies, or a slice of coffee cake can feel like a sweet, gentle hug at the end of the day. It's a small pleasure, a moment of indulgence. But beneath that sweet veneer lies a powerful disruptive force that can sabotage your sleep, disrupt your metabolism, and create a vicious cycle of fatigue and cravings. When you consume a sugary snack before bed, your body is hit with a rapid influx of simple carbohydrates. This causes your blood sugar levels to spike dramatically, signaling your pancreas to release a surge of insulin to manage the glucose. This process gives you a burst of energy at the precise moment your body is trying to power down and prepare for rest. This initial energy rush is inevitably followed by a crash as the insulin does its job too well, causing your blood sugar to plummet. This crash often occurs in the middle of the night. It can jolt you awake, perhaps with a feeling of anxiety, a racing heart, or even night sweats, as your body releases stress hormones like cortisol to stabilize your glucose levels. Even if you don't fully awaken, this glycemic roller coaster prevents you from entering the deep, restorative stages of sleep, leaving you feeling groggy, irritable, and mentally foggy the next morning. The consequences extend far beyond a single bad night's sleep. Repeatedly subjecting your body to these late-night sugar spikes can contribute to insulin resistance over time, a precursor to type 2 diabetes and a significant concern for older adults. This isn't merely about weight gain, it's about a fundamental disruption to your metabolic health that can increase your risk for heart disease, cognitive decline, and other chronic illnesses. Consider the story of Larry, a 76-year-old retired Marine who was disciplined about his daily walks, but rewarded himself every night with a big bowl of his favorite sugary cereal. He started experiencing strange nighttime symptoms, waking up feeling hot and disoriented, needing to use the bathroom constantly. He worried it was something serious. After a discussion with his doctor about his diet, he realized his nightly treat was the cause. By switching to a small handful of walnuts, his sleep quality dramatically improved and his daytime energy returned. Moreover, many sweets and baked goods trigger acid reflux. The combination of sugar and fat, especially in things like cookies, cakes, and pastries, can relax the lower esophageal sphincter, allowing stomach acid to creep up into your throat while you're lying flat. This leads to that familiar sour taste, chronic throat clearing, and a persistent nighttime cough that can rob you of peace and vitality. The psychological pull of these foods is immense. Sugar is tied to celebration, reward, and childhood comfort. Breaking a lifelong habit of reaching for something sweet can be incredibly difficult. But understanding the profound negative impact it has on your body as you age can provide powerful motivation. If you've noticed a decline in your sleep quality or an increase in daytime fatigue, take an unflinching look at your evening sugar intake. Swapping that cookie for a small banana, or that bowl of cereal for a piece of whole grain toast with a sliver of almond butter can make an astonishing difference. This isn't about deprivation, it's about choosing to give your body the gift of deep, healing rest. Have you ever noticed the connection between a late-night sweet treat and a restless night? Share your experience in the comments. Let's create a conversation that helps us all make healthier choices. As we bring our discussion to a close, I want you to take a moment to reflect. We've journeyed through the deceptive comfort of peanut butter, the salty betrayal of cold cuts, the treacherous richness of dairy, the forgotten danger in leftovers, and the sweet illusion of sugary treats. Each of these represents a seemingly small choice made in the quiet of the evening, yet each holds the potential to profoundly impact your health, safety, and quality of life. Which of these revelations surprised you the most? Is there a habit you now see in a completely new light? Remember, the goal of this knowledge is not to create fear or to take away life's simple pleasures. It is to empower you. It is about fostering a new kind of mindfulness, an awareness that as our bodies evolve, our habits must evolve as well. Making these adjustments is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate expression of wisdom and self-respect. Every time you choose a snack that supports your body's need for rest and repair, you are making a powerful investment in your future, a future filled with more energy, greater independence, and deeper peace of mind. I would be genuinely honored to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below and share the single most important takeaway you gained from our time together today. Your insights and stories are the lifeblood of this community, and they provide incredible motivation for us to continue our work. Reading about your experiences reminds us why this information is so vital. If you found this video to be helpful and believe it could benefit others, please show your support by giving it a like, sharing it with a friend or family member, and subscribing to our channel. Your engagement helps us reach more people who need to hear this message. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.